Students, in our last session, we understood that how Lali was derailing, how she was derailing and going off the track of her learning. That was during her music class. It means we could understand that Lali was proving to be totally a failure to learn music. She was going off the track, means she was not still able to learn properly, even though however good her teacher was teaching her. And this same thing was being watched secretly by those three children, including Mrudu, Ravi and Meena. They were watching all this from the window of that room where Lali was learning the violin, and seeing her condition, they felt very sorry for her. Okay, these were the things which we discussed in our last session, and at the same time, the children also heard somebody else's noise. They also heard somebody else shouting "Amma" from the front yard gate, from the front gate of the house. Now let us see who that was and what the matter was. Yes, now let us go through. Next line. Amma, came a wail from the gate. Amma, oh. Next. Ravi, sent that beggar away, cried his mother from the back veranda, where she was chatting with Tapi. He has been coming here every day for the past week, and it's time he found another house to beg from. Pati explained to Tapi. See here, with this, we understood that with these lines we can understand that it was no one else but a beggar who had come to that house, and it was himself who was shouting "Amma, Amma, oh Amma." That was standing nearby the gate. He was shouting so. It means he was in need of alms. He was in need of alms. It means expecting some alms from that house. The beggar was shouting. Here alms means anything that is given to a beggar out of charity. We call it alms. Okay? Alms. That is anything it might be, whether it is food item or any other clothes, any other useful thing that we give to a beggar, showing our kindness. We call it alms. Okay, so expecting for that, there also was a beggar who shouted "Amma" out at the householders, and instantly at that time, it was Ravi's mother, Rukumani, heard that sound, and she said, "Ravi," and she cried. She cried at Ravi, telling, "Ravi, send that beggar away." Soon after listening to the beggar's voice, to the beggar's sound, Rukumani shouted at Ravi, telling him to send that beggar away. "Ravi, send that beggar away." See further what she continued, and we could also understand that by this time Rukumani, Ravi's mother, was busy in chatting with Tapi, who had come to her house after a long time. Okay, as she was busy chatting with Tapi, she asked Ravi himself to send the beggar away. Okay, next what she said. He has been coming here every day for the past week, and it's time he found another house to beg from. See, adding to Rukumani's words regarding the beggar. Even Pati also said that the beggar had been coming there every day for the past week, and by that time it was the time for the beggar to find some other house instead of their house. Here we already have seen. We also come across another person called Pati. Pati was that grandmother, but who stayed in Rukumandi's house. It means Ravi's grandmother was here called Pati, whereas Mrudu's grandmother is addressed as Tapi. Okay, so adding to Rukumandi's house, adding to Rukumandi said Ravi to send that beggar away. Adding to her, even Pati also said that that beggar had been coming to their house from the past 1 week, and that time he was supposed to find some other house. Not according to her, it was not the beggar to come again and again repeatedly to their house alone, but he should find some other house for alms. Okay. Next, Mrudu and Meena followed Ravi out. The beggar was already in the garden, making himself quite at home. He had spread his upper cloth under the neem tree and was leaning against its trunk, apparently prepared to take a little snooze while he waited for the arms to appear. "Go away," said Ravi sternly. "My Pati says it's time you found another house to beg from." See, okay, finally listening to his mother's and grandmother's words, Ravi started moving towards outside. By that time he and Mrudu, Meena were there in the backyard of their house itself, and soon after listening to their mother and grandmother's words, in order to follow them, Ravi started moving towards the front yard, and Mrudu and Meena also followed Ravi. Finally, Ravi came to the front yard, almost to the front gate of the house, and in order to tell the beggar to find some other house as his grandmother had ordered. Okay, and by the time Ravi and other children came to the front yard, the beggar was there already in the garden of their house. Okay, it means already he had entered the gate by himself, and by that time Ravi went there. He was making himself comfortable under a neem tree there in the garden of the house. Okay, making himself comfortable under a neem tree, he just removed his top cloth. He just removed his upper clothes and spread it on the lawn, in the garden, and there itself he was just feeling at home to get a snooze, to get a short snooze while he waited for the alms to come, while he waited the house members, that householders to give him some alms. It means until the householders provided him some alms, the beggar just wanted to wait, and at the same time he also wanted to have some snooze. Snooze here means a short sleep. Short sleep, we call it a snooze. Snooze, or a nap also we call it. A short sleep. See, by that time, as it was already a scorching heat, it means it was due to that midday heat, the beggar was feeling himself tiresome due to continuous and tireless walking, the beggar was so much tired, and due to that scorching heat, he just wanted some, he was just in need of some shadow, cool shadow and some snooze. So making all the preparations, finally the beggar just laid himself on the cloth which he had spread on the lawn, and in that way he was just making himself at home, comfortable. With this we could understand that before anybody telling him at all, before telling him anything at all, if the beggar that just directly entered the gate of their house and he was making himself comfortable in their garden means, with this we understand how much the beggar had been used to their house. He was very much used to their house. It means that much he had thought himself as a familiar member, as a familiar person to their house. So, before getting anybody's permission or anybody's allowance itself, he himself started making comfortable there under any tree in their garden of their house. And finally, the Ravi and other children came to him, and Ravi said, "Yes, you go away." He said, "My party says it's time you found another house to beg from. Yes, right now, at this moment, you just go away." Why? Because he said, his party said that it's time he found some other house. Go and found some other house. But don't stand here itself at our house only. Why? Because he said, his grandmother, his party said so. Okay.